Welcome to Daily Politics on Trust TV. I'm your host, Hamza Idris. In this program, we discuss issues around politics, policy, and governance. And today, we will focus on the People's Democratic Party crisis in Kano and the legal battle by different factions. And we have in the studio Mohammed Jamu. He's actually a key member of the People's Democratic Party at the national and at the state level. He's also a member of the Integrity Group led by Governor of Rivers State, Wike. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Hamza. Viewers, my greetings and a Happy New Year to each and every one of you.
Yes, I also supposed to say Happy New Year to you.
Thank you.
And it is election year.
Yes.
Thank you for joining the program.
Thank you so much.
Yes, we will take a short break, and when we return, the program commences. Don't go away. Welcome back. We have in the studio, as I said earlier, Mohammed Jamu, a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
We started the year with endorsement in court.
Yeah.
First was Obasanjo. He actually bombed some presidential candidates, including the candidate of your party, Atiku Abubakar. Yeah. He also ruled out the performance of President Muhammadu Buhari. And then for the Banjo in Lagos, we also heard of Edwin Clark giving his own endorsement. Is it really normal, the endorsement at the beginning of the year? Maybe because it's the year of the election? What is your take?
Well, this is a year of the election, and things like this, and even going forward, I'm sure you will see more and more endorsements taking place. And it's part of the beauty of democracy for people to come out to exercise their constitutional given right to appreciate and endorse people they feel fit into their own thinking and ideology of what governance is all about.
Okay.
But just like I can tell you, is since the beginning of the democratic process last year in 2022, so many endorsements have been taking place, maybe at the grassroots level.
Okay.
You can see our party, we have been going out to various places across the country campaigning, and you can see the number of people coming out to endorse the political party and our candidate at various levels.
Okay.
So the coming of the big-time gurus like President Olusegun Obasanjo, Pa Adebanjo, and Edwin Clark is just spicing up the galore of endorsements, and I'm assuring you that you will see more people coming out to make this endorsement.
But do they carry weight? Let's take Obasanjo for instance.
Yeah.
He said Atiku is not the right person.
Yes.
You agree with him?
Well, President Olusegun Obasanjo is somebody that I can say to you is a man of so many colors.
Okay.
Last dispensation, 4 years ago, he was part of the people that came out to endorse Atiku Abubakar.
Yes.
And then this time around, he feels otherwise. But I will still leave it at the bedrock of him exercising his own constitutional right. Whether it is right or it is wrong, it is for Nigerians at the end of the day, at the polls, to determine what they feel and what they believe is the right way to go from 2023 upward. So I will just leave it at that. I don't want to dwell more about the quality of what Olusegun Obasanjo has said. But you know, Olusegun Obasanjo, right from 1979, when he left office, he has always been writing letters. So it depends on what side
the letter man.
Yeah, it depends on what side of the divide you belong to. If you belong to the side of the divide where he endorsed, you will be so happy that somebody of the caliber of Olusegun Obasanjo is doing such a thing. And if you don't belong to that side of the divide, you will feel bad about it. But you must salute the consistency of Olusegun Obasanjo.
Is he really consistent?
In writing his letters, not in his ideology.
Okay.
Consistency in writing the letters. How I wish all the leaders in Nigeria too will take that example, if not maybe writing a letter, but to always come out and air their own view on the happenings in the country.
But people feel that instead of writing letters, why can't he just meet with leaders? For instance, look at this cutting comment on the performance of President Buhari.
Yeah.
You know, he was really merciless in the way he penned his words to the president.
Yeah, the reason why I don't want to go against what he said in...
But is it true?
So some years back,
yes.
when President Goodluck Jonathan was in office,
yes.
Olusegun Obasanjo wrote a scathing letter
yes.
against Goodluck Jonathan. And anybody who is a strong supporter of President Muhammadu Buhari was very happy that Olusegun Obasanjo has written such a letter. So if today Olusegun Obasanjo is writing a letter which is against President Muhammadu Buhari, so then the people from the side of President Muhammadu Buhari should not feel bad, but then it should be a time for them to reflect and look inward and see those things that President Olusegun Obasanjo wrote in the letters. Are they right or are they wrong? If they are right, then there is enough time for the president and his handlers to try and see with the remaining months they have in office to right some of those wrongs. And if President Olusegun Obasanjo is wrong, then let them come out with incontrovertible figures that will show to Nigeria.
I think Garba Shehu did in his response. I don't know whether they are true or not, but number one, he said Obasanjo is actually envious of the achievements of President Buhari. He cited the second Niger bridge, that Obasanjo, you know, he led the port, but could not put a single block on it.
Yeah.
During his second term, he even went to Onitsha, and one of the monarchs, you know, dressed him down. That he deceived them, you know, during his first term. So they don't really trust him. It was really a terrible encounter. And he also said that Obasanjo, you know, actually spoke out of frustration, not as a statesman. Is this on the other? I mean, you know, maybe hitting him below the belt, or is just to respond and carry on?
Yeah, Mala Hamza, just like I said, it depends on what side of the divide you are looking at it from. President Olusegun Obasanjo, like him, hate him, he has his own good side and he has so much of his own negative sides. When he was in office as the president and as head of state in this Federal Republic of Nigeria, he has done some commendable things. When you look at in 1976 to 1979, the joint government of Murtala and what he continued after the death of Murtala, it was their government that began massive investment in all the power projects which we are still having up to today, and some of the petroleum investments like the refineries and things like that, which since after they left office, subsequent administration that came in did not do anything to add up from where Olusegun Obasanjo.
So it's not really correct to write him off.
Yeah, and then when Obasanjo came back in office, if not for the aborted third term, he has tried to bring in continuity of some of those projects, because I can remember Geregu, Omotosho, and so many other projects that has to do with power were reinvested, or rather, he did much investment in infrastructure, even though a lot of people question the amount of money that was invested with no commensurate result. But at least there was an investment.
$16 billion.
Yes, but at least there was an investment, and it is for the government or for the civil society or for posterity one day to judge whether those $16 billion or whatever were spent rightly or wrongly.
They said he wanted third term. He was unable to get it in 2007, and indirectly he wants to get it via Mr. Peter Obi.
Well, I don't know the correlation or the connection between Peter Obi and Olusegun Obasanjo and his third term, because if there are other people that I feel Olusegun Obasanjo should have even looked for third term, he should have even looked for third term through his vice president, who was Atiku Abubakar that time.
But they said Atiku, you know, he was self-assertive. So he will really not get third term via Atiku, and maybe this is the impression now. Atiku is a self-made man. Atiku, in terms of age, is advanced, in terms of experience. Yeah. The same thing with Tinubu. These are people that Obasanjo cannot in any way control. But those who are alleging that he wants to use Peter Obi, said Peter Obi is a young man. He will easily listen. And he also said that in his letter, even though not saying that I'm looking for third term, but he said it's easier to now tell Peter Obi to do ABC, and he will easily do that.
Yeah, I was shocked and surprised when I even read that portion of what President Olusegun Obasanjo said there. Because this time around, we are not looking for a president who will be remote controlled from Ottawa or from any part of the country. We are looking for a leader who is upright, who can stand his feet and be assertive and do what is right, because that is the kind of leader Nigeria needs. Nigeria does not want a leader who will be remote controlled from anywhere. We want a leader who from day one can kick the ball going, and he can be able to do that which is right. But all these ones, whether Obasanjo endorsed A, B, or C, or whatever, Olusegun Obasanjo has just only one vote. And I can tell you,
and they said he has even never won his own.
Even in his house, even in his own house, I don't think he can get, or he can control all the votes that can
his
come
wives
in from
and children.
Yes, and children. I don't think he can control all those votes. He has only one vote. The rights and the major votes are coming from Nigerians. So the endorsement that all these aspirants should be looking for are endorsements from Nigeria. And I'm happy in this democratic space, the time and whatever that INEC has given an opportunity for the aspirants to traverse the length of breadth of Nigeria. And you can see it. They are doing it, and we feel they are selling their messages, which at the end of the day will give Nigerians opportunity to choose who they feel can govern them.
Okay, what about, Edwin Clark?
Yeah.
His own version of the endorsement. What is your assessment?
Edwin Clark, and I remember those days of President Olusegun Obasanjo when President Goodluck Jonathan, when Edwin Clark appointed himself as the father of the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and his forum, I think the PANDEF, the Niger Delta, whatever, and things like that. So he has been silent for a very long time, only for him now to come out and speak about endorsement. I don't know how much of influence he still has over the people in the Ijo land. That is it. So it is for the people from the Ijo land to see if Edwin Clark is still somebody who his words carry weight, or it is the people that are going to rise up and determine how best they feel they should be governed. But like I said, it is their constitutional right, and I believe it is their own constitutional right that they are exercising, and I salute them for coming out to talk about their own constitutional right. Anybody who is a Nigerian, be you a leader at the high level or at the lower level, it is within your right to endorse whoever you feel you think can be able to carry your own ideologies into governance of Nigeria. So I salute them. I don't condemn them for what they do, and let's posterity judge their endorsement.
Thank you very much for your take on these issues. Our discussion today actually has two legs. One is Kano, and the other one is the PDP at the national level. So I will start with the second leg, which is smaller as far as this discussion is concerned before we move to Kano. You are a member of the integrity group.
Yes.
And it's like you are running against time, right?
Yeah, right.
Because up till now, it appears Wike, Makinde, Autumn, and the other two governors are really adamant towards Atiku. Are you really happy with the state of things at this level? We are in 2023. By next month, February, we are going to face election.
Well, the issue of whether I am happy or I am not happy does not even arise.
Okay.
What is more important is the give and take in politics.
Okay.
We still have about a month and 20-something days to the general election, when the first vote or the first ballot will be casted. And between now and that time, I feel something can be able to be done rightly that can be able to bring back the integrity group members to the mainstream of the campaign. And it is just a simple thing.
Okay.
It's
What
just
is
a
that?
simple
How
thing.
simple is that, Mr. Jamu?
Just simple as in, let the national chairman of the party, Mr. Iyochi Ayu, step down.
But don't you think it will be the biggest suicide of the century? You have less than 2 months to election to now ask your chairman to leave. Are you not asking for too much?
This request has been on and ongoing for a very long time. How many months this request has been going on? If it has been adhered to and listened to, I am sure by now we will have been one big happy family and marching forward towards the victory of the presidential candidate. And like I say, let me reiterate it here.
Okay.
Nobody has problem with the presidential candidate.
Atiku.
He is capable and he can deliver. And I assure you that all the members of Integrity Group see him as such and believe he can deliver, and he has all the requisite needed by a leader to lead this country. That is number one. And even in his running mate too, there are no issues. But the only fundamental issue here is just about balancing.
But you
just
see,
about balancing.
Jamu, I know I discussed this with you here,
Yeah.
and many other chieftains of the PDP who came here.
Yeah.
The other side, especially Atiku and Ayu's side, what they are saying is, look, we are in a contest.
Yeah.
It's not that you share or you zone the party offices in order to balance, the political contest.
Yeah.
Because you are facing a national election now. You want to win the presidency. In the event now, you now ask Ayu to step down, and then Atiku did not win. Is it not greater loss compared to now allowing Ayu to pretend this election, so that the very day, for instance, you are declared winner, he will say, okay, bye-bye. He has done his own part of the bargain. This is not too much to give.
The issue is, politics is game of numbers. It's for the party to weigh, or for the leadership of the presidential candidate to weigh this. 5 governors and a host of other political leaders from different states.
Yeah.
Or just one national chairman.
It's not about national, only him, because by the time you now ask him to leave, who are you bringing? Maybe somebody in the NWC is already from that state or that geopolitical zone. Meaning you are going to alter the whole configuration of the party.
Well, altering the whole configuration of the party will not take more than 48 hours for all these things to be done and put rightly where everybody will have that sense of belonging. And then like one big family, we come back and we move forward. It doesn't take that much, Malam Hamza. This is a cry that we have been making for a very long time. And democratically, this cry, this agitation is normal. And I am telling you that between now and the election day, I am very optimistic and I have very strong feeling that something can be done. The candidate is looking at the figures, he's looking at the numbers too, and I'm sure he is weighing these options, and at the end of the day, the right thing will be done. Mark my words.
But every minute in politics counts. Anything can happen. By the time you start thinking of rewinding the tape, changing the configuration, as I said earlier, people will start laughing at you and say, you don't even have leadership at the center. Your candidate is still battling to actually find his foot and all that. But
the campaigns are going, and the presidential campaign is moving from state to state. And you can see how people are coming out to support the party. So I am not having any concern over that particular aspect. So this other aspect is just a very minor aspect. It's just about settling the cries of some people within the domain of this political party for things to be done right. And I feel at the right time, something can be done right.
But at the twilight of 2022, there was this report that this G5 met with candidate of APC in London. Even though there are dispute around it. People are saying it's not true, it's true, but we know the antics of politicians.
Yeah.
Are you really not thinking that maybe Wiki, who is the arrowhead, will most likely say, okay, let's go towards the position of Tinubu?
Well, let me tell you one thing. Those are just fallacies. There was no meeting between Tinubu and the G5.
Are you sure,
governors.
Mr. Jam?
Okay, let me tell you this. The last time such a meeting held,
Yes,
when they met with Obi, they met with Atiku, and they met with Tinubu, it was made public. There were pictures, and everybody saw that this meeting was held.
but the permutations,
But this time around, Tinubu has come out to say, I did not meet with anybody.
Politician can say anything.
And even the members of the G5 groups have come out to say, we have not met with anybody.
They can claim.
Don't forget.
You see, because I understand that part of the fear was, the response from the PDP. Because there was this statement that we are waiting for them to say we have endorsed this because we will sanction them.
Yeah.
Don't you think that was why maybe after the meeting they now say, okay, let's conceal it, let's leave it the way it is. But at our levels, we know what happened, and we are going to cascade what we agree here to our followers.
Let me tell you one thing, Mala Hamza.
Yes.
Everybody is meeting with anybody now.
So the issue of anti-party posturing is not
everybody
really...
is meeting with anybody now. Everybody is meeting with anybody.
So are you now agreeing with what I said?
No, but still, okay. I am telling you that there was no meeting in London between Tinubu and members of the G5. Because if that meeting happened, nobody amongst the G5 governors is afraid of anything that will warrant them to shy away from saying that meeting has happened. When they had the first meeting with Tinubu, it was made public. There were pictures, and even details of what we had discussed was made public at that time. But there is no any meeting. Up to now that I'm speaking to you now, I can confidently tell you that the G5 governors are waiting for the presidential candidate of the PDP to do the right thing. Once that right thing is done, I am assuring you that everybody will come back and work for the party. And nicely, Governor Udom Otom of Akwa Ibom was even in Rivers to meet with Governor Wike. And I am sure...
they have been traveling, globetrotting together.
Yeah, and I'm assuring...
I mean, I'm talking about not Udom, I'm talking about Governor of Benue State.
Yeah, no, the Governor of Benue State and other members of the G5 had their Christmas celebration here in Nigeria, and they felt it was time to just go and rest a little bit out of the country. And they went out of the country to go and rest. But we're here in Nigeria in an era which is a political era. Everybody is looking for news. So once Party A travels, and everybody will start speculating that they have traveled for this, for that, for that, for this. But I am telling you that there is nothing in place between the APC and the G5 governors.
You see, as students of politics and people who report politics, we chew whatever we get from politicians mildly so that it will not be sand, right? You can imagine when Udom Emmanuel visited Wiki, when they came out, they say it's fraternity, we are brothers and all that. I don't think if people in primary school will agree that it was family to discuss something outside politics. Because I remember few days before the visit by Emmanuel, at a rally, he said he felt empty without the G5.
Yeah.
Whenever you people go on campaigns, if he looks back without seeing the G5, he feels that there is this sense of emptiness in him.
Yeah.
And now when he went to Rivers, probably to plead with them, he now came out and said, no, we didn't discuss politics. And that is why we are still doubting if the London meeting did not hold.
Well, the London meeting did not hold. Let's take it as that.
Okay.
Since Tinubu will say it did not hold, and then the G5 members, all of them, will address press at various levels, time and places to say it did not happen, and nobody has brought any proof to show that that meeting was held, then let's leave it that nothing has happened. And we believe nothing has happened because surely nothing happened. But you see that move by Udom Emmanuel of Akwa Ibom State to come and meet Wiki and the rest. That is kind of move we want to see going forward.
Okay.
Because the more the G5 governors are seeing the softer side of people surrounding the presidential candidate, the better it is for the party. That is why sometimes I feel pained that the DG of the campaign is not doing anything, because as the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, and up to today, he cannot even assemble the meeting of the PDP governors.
You are referring to Tambuwal?
I'm referring to Tambuwal to address such concerns that are happening within the party. Shows positive for leadership.
Okay, you think he's not doing enough, Tambuwal?
He is not doing anything.
But why is he there? Why can't you people ask him to leave the way you are asking Ayutthaya?
Look, let me tell you one thing. If I am Aminu Waziri Tambuwal,
yes,
I wouldn't even wait for anybody to ask me to leave. I will willingly step down as the DG of the presidential campaign of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Let me cite 3 reasons why I see this. Number 1, there was a recent report by the National Bureau of Statistics which rated Sokoto State as the state with the largest number of out-of-school children.
So you're invariably saying he's a runaway governor?
Let me finish. Sokoto State was rated as the state with the largest number of out-of-school children and the state with the largest number of poor people in Nigerians. The rating, they were rated at 91%. That bad. In the last 15 years, when the NBS have issued their report year in, year out.
And this one is even multidimensional.
Yeah, was multidimensional because they took 4 categories in assessing their report. In the last 15 years, it has never been this bad where any governor got this 91%. And since that report came out, we have keenly been watching the Sokoto State government to see if Sokoto State will come out with a report that will refute what the NBS has said, and if there is no report to refute it, maybe come out with figures that will diminish, or come out with figures that will showcase what they have done and show that the NBS report is wrong. But Sokoto State has not come out with anything like that. I can tell you, when you go to the Twitter, you see people mocking the People's Democratic Party. Whenever we go to the campaign rallies and he speaks, people wonder, someone who has led his state this bad to the level where it was rated as the poorest state in Nigeria will be a DG of a presidential campaign at this time. He should have just gone back to Sokoto in the remaining months that he has to go and correct some of these wrongs. And if they are not wrongs, then let us have figures that will show that he has done well for the people of Sokoto State. That is number 1. Number 2, as the governor who is chairing the PDP Governors Forum, we're talking about governors here, 5 governors saying they don't want to be part of the presidential campaign. What stops him from assembling a PDP Governors Forum meeting?
To resolve the problem.
To resolve the problem. And at the end of the day, get the governors to take a vote and agree that whichever side wins that, everybody will go and work with that side. But he can't be able to do that. So that shows that there is no enough leadership.
We'll try and get him to respond to some of these. Is it allegations or?
This is not an allegation.
Okay.
This is a report by
Fair
the
enough.
National Bureau of Statistics.
We will get him or his spokesperson to actually speak on this and why he did not, leave the position of the campaign DG to face his problems at home. Thank you. We'll go on a short break. Viewers, we'll go on a short break. Please don't go away. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation with Mohamed Jamu.
Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130...
Created a Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secure are they? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Really, if you look at English squad, you are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Daily Politics on Trust TV. And we are discussing two issues. One, at the national level, the problems with the G5 and the presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar. But in this second part of the program, we move to Kano. In the studio is Mohamed Jamu, a chieftain of the PDP and also a member of the Integrity Group led by Governor Wike. Yeah. You raised some fundamental issues, but honestly, I'm tempted to also go to Kano, where you chaired the Congress, but some people said you were actually chairman of the committee that led to the election of Mohamed Abacha as candidate of the PDP. In one of our programs, we had the deputy gubernatorial candidate, of the Amin Wali faction, Dr. Dambata. And he said, you people only put something on nothing. And the emergence of your candidate, Mohamed Abacha, will actually not last because they have gone to appeal court. Yeah. What is your take?
Well, I will just say that Yusuf Dambata and members of their own faction within the PDP in Kano State are just saying things in a manner and a way that suits their own ego.
How?
We had an election, and I was the chairman of the organizing committee.
Okay.
I did not chair the electoral committee like they go places and alleging that I was the chairman of the electoral committee. There was an electoral body committee that was constituted by the National Working Committee.
Of the party?
Of the party.
But during our discussion, he actually said the committee sent from Abuja was to monitor the primaries held by their camp.
Well, the committee sent from Abuja arrived Kano with a letter to Mr. Sagagi to announce their presence in Kano, which after...
Sagagi's name was written on it.
Sagagi's name was written on it as the chairman of the People's Democratic Party. And after they arrived Kano, for one reason or the other, which we did not know, they absconded, and we didn't even know where they absconded to. Until days later that...
The team from Abuja?
Yeah, the team from Abuja, until days later that we realized they went somewhere to hold a kangaroo primary
You call it
election.
kangaroo? It took place at the Sani Abacha Stadium, right?
Yeah, it's a kangaroo because...
yours was at a hotel?
It was not at a hotel. We held our own at the party headquarters. It's not at a hotel. Ours, the primary election, which is duly recognized by the law, which the courts have affirmed now, was held at the Kano State PDP headquarters.
Okay.
And it was duly monitored by the Independent National Electoral Commission.
They are also claiming the same thing.
No, they cannot claim, because even the Independent National Electoral Commission had a report of all that happened during the primaries, which they have even submitted to the court, which the court had taken that into cognizance and ruled at the end of the day, giving victory back to Mohamed Abacha, who originally is the person who won that election. They had a kangaroo primary election, which was not known by the law. You see, Section 84(1) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria stipulates that all actions of the political parties, be it their congresses, be it their finances, be it their primary election, must be monitored by the Independent National Electoral Commission. And they went somewhere, they had a kangaroo, carried
the way
maybe
he called yours kangaroo.
Yeah, no, they had a drama, and then...
Okay, yours is kangaroo, theirs drama?
They had a drama. Ours is a fully electoral primary election that we had INEC there, and they monitored that election, and at the end of the day, a victor was declared.
How did you felt when the court said, okay, Abacha is actually the candidate? Did you anticipate this?
I never doubted that God in his infinite mercy will give judgment to those who are rightful. So even after they have stolen the mandate in connivance with the Mr. Iochi Ayu-led National Working Committee.
Wow.
At the end of the day...
You think they had the backing of Ayu?
Of course, Ayu was involved. Iochi Ayu was involved.
What are your facts?
Well, I don't have to say anything. Even them, they claim that Mr. Iochi Ayu is the one
the chairman.
He is the chairman of the party.
Yeah, and he has the right to now say, okay, certain people should go and monitor the election of certain.
Yeah, but
meaning those people who went there were not actually abducted.
Even the right that he has was to send them to the state chairman of the party. And the state chairman, the only right the chairman of the People's Democratic Party or any other political party has within the law is to send the electoral committee to the state chairman of the party. That was why they were sent to Kano with a letter to the state chairman informing the state chairman that so persons have been appointed as members of the electoral committee that will monitor the primary election. They are not the ones to say these are the people who are the delegates. It is for the state chairman to then come forward with the delegates for the primary election to be held, only for them just to be the witness of that primary election. And even in the constitution of the People's Democratic Party, it is there clearly stated the chairman of the party in every state of Nigeria, the PDP state chairman, is the chairman of any state congress that will be held. So automatically the state chairman is the chairman of the congress. So all they have to do is to go and report to him and then view and monitor what the state chairman will bring forth to them.
But during our conversation with Dr. Lambata and even the caretaker chairman, Alajimai Adam, right? Yeah. They said Sagagi is actually there to destroy the party because he's not following instructions from Abuja. They said he should hand over to the caretaker. He's reluctant to do this. Are you not really worried that at this time of the year that you have serious issues in Kano, that you cannot solve it internally? You always look forward to court to say, okay, go left, go right, sit here, don't move, go and take your bath and all that?
I'm really worried. I am terrified. I am worried and I'm terrified. Why I'm worried and I'm terrified as a party man who wants his party to coast home to victory,
yes.
I am worried that all these things are happening. And I want to even use this opportunity now that I'm here, that people are listening to us, to call on Yusuf Dambata and Sadiq Wali and all other people that belong to their own political camp. Now that Mohammed Abacha has been duly recognized by the court as the party candidate who will fly the flag of the People's Democratic Party, for them to come forward. Let us work together. Let us accommodate each other. We don't have to continue bickering. There is even no need to appeal this judgment. Let us work together. Whatever they want, let them come. Let us all sit down. Whatever they want, we will give it to them. We want
but
this
what will you
factory.
give them? What they want is the actually ticket to have their candidate, Sadiq Wali. And, you know, they have window to appeal up to the Supreme Court, if I'm not wrong.
You see, why do they need to appeal? Once you have violated the constitutional right of constitutional framework of how a primary election must be held, that INEC must monitor it. What are you appealing? You don't even have a ground, no local standing.
They said they have even gone to the appeal. So
they can withdraw the appeal. Let us accommodate them. They can withdraw it. They can withdraw it.
Mr. Jamu, there is this fear because Bello, you know, Jafar, who actually contested with Abacha, right?
Yes.
For the primaries. He too went to court.
Yeah.
Of course, he has been defeated.
Yeah.
But the grounds he wanted Abacha to be removed was he did not register at his ward.
Yeah.
In Fagi.
Yeah.
Here we are now, putting something on nothing in court. Are you not afraid that other political parties will explore this, even though it is a party affair and pre-election matter, right?
Yeah.
to actually remove your candidate at the end of the day?
Well, already the time for anybody to challenge any pre-election matter has already passed, and the only person who has challenged that issue did not get what he wanted in the court. So even for Mr. Jafar Sani Bello, we are going to do everything humanly possible to get him back on our side. Let us work together, because at this time we are only having conciliatory words. We don't want a situation whereby we can continue this bickering. We have a gubernatorial candidate who we want everybody to come and work together with us. And I'm telling you, Mala Hamza, that we are going to reach out to each and every one of them. Let them come. Let us work
including
together.
the people going to court? And
Including the people going to court. Unless if they do not listen, then we can meet again in court. There is no problem. We have never been afraid that we will get victory, and even the appeal court which they are going to, we will not be afraid to get victory there, because even in the appellate court, we have gotten victory. There was a judgment of Leila Buhari versus Tambaram. We got it at the appeal court, and the same procedure that produced Mohamed Abacha is the same procedure that produced Barrister Leila Buhari as the senatorial candidate, and we got it in the appeal court. So we are not new to getting victory in the appeal court. But instead of saying, let us continue wasting the time of the party, the time that we should have been used to be campaigning and be going to the courts, that is why I'm saying we are extending an olive branch to them. Let them come, let's work together, we will accommodate them. Whatever they feel, especially their followers too, whatever they feel they are lacking, which they feel if they get the government, it will give them, then let them come. Let us sit down and discuss. Politics is about give and take. We are ready to give and we are ready to take whatever they are ready to offer to us.
But how rousy will it be? Because from what you said, and I even wanted to ask, is it partly why you are not favorably disposed to Ayu, apart from the other issue of zoning and all that, maybe his role in the Kano PDP crisis. Now, without him, and by extension, maybe the NWC, how are you going to navigate the waters in Kano?
Well, what I am saying to you, of course, part of the problem, you see, when you look at all the members of the integrity group, they have one reason or the other why they all believed that Yocha Ayu needs to give way for the People's Democratic Party to move forward and for the presidential candidate to have a robust support from all well-meaning party members across the country. The party needs to carry us as followers, as loyal members who are in love with this party, who want the victory of this party at all levels to take place. So the only way the party will make us believe that we are equal before the party is for the party to remain aloof and not join in the appeal.
Apart from Makinde, all the other governors, they are not going for a second term, but they want to go to the Senate. And in the event they are sacked, what does that mean? Of course, INEC will not replace their name, but you know there will be problem during the election.
Well, every party member has its own unique way and approach of getting it right. And I'm telling you that us in Kano and our own gubernatorial candidate, who is the only one that I'm going to talk about. I am not in a position to talk about how Oyo people are going to vote Makinde. I'm not in a position where I'm going to talk about how the people of Abia, Benue, Peazu, and Ugwani is going to get his senatorial seat. What I'm in a position to talk about is how Mohamed Abacha can be able to navigate the murky waters of Kano politics to become the governor of Kano. And I'm telling you that we have the capacity, we have what it takes, we have the followership, and I'm telling you the day that we launch our campaign in Kano, you are going to see what we have.
You have the Abba Gida in NNPP and Gauna in APC, and the incumbency of Ganduje. How are you going to do it?
Well, the history of Kano politics has always been in this way. Kano people have always gone for what they wanted, and when we have been in court I know the number of people that have been calling us to say their prayers and to tell us how much ready they are that once Mohamed Abacha becomes the candidate, they are going to come all out and support us. I am telling you, it will happen.
So
Kano has a
he will
history.
defeat Gawuna?
Kano has a history. When Abubakar Rimi of blessed memory was the governor of Kano in 1983, he had the power of incumbency, he had everything, but Alhaji Sabo Bakinzo of blessed memory defeated him.
Even Konkoso
so that was normal. Konkoso had incumbency in 2003, Shekaro defeated him. And in 2011, Konkoso defeated another sitting government and became governor too. Even Abba Gida Gida, if not for the might of the federal might that was deployed.
So it's not the state might or the incumbency factor of the government.
He has defeated under People's Democratic Party, my own party, he defeated the sitting government of Ganduje there, only for them to do the inconclusive and get it back. So I'm telling you, the same love that Kano people showed for PDP that time in 2019 will be the same love they will show for PDP under the gubernatorial candidature of Mohamed Abacha this time around.
Finally, I want to go back to one of the points you raised. You know, you really hit Tambuwal hard. Are you going for someone when you said ordinarily he should leave the position? Are you going for in the event?
No,
said,
what
okay,
I said, if I am Tambuwal, quote me and unquote me, if I am Tambuwal, with the report of the National Bureau of Statistics,
you will leave.
Has rated
but you are not him. But you are not. Do you have
Let
somebody?
me finish. That I am that has rated Sokoto with the largest number of out-of-school children and poor people. If I am him, I will go back to Sokoto State so that I will go and attend to the needs of the people of Sokoto State who gave him the mandate to carry. And you know, governance, there is a consequences of governance that you will face before the Almighty. You must account for all that you do under governance. So it is more important to attend to the issues of people of Sokoto State than to be a DG of a campaign at this time around.
You appear
but
frank.
Unfortunately,
you are demarketing your party.
Unfortunately, I am not Aminu Waziri Tambuwal. And I said even this topic, I brought it up because I have been seeing people posting about it on Twitter and mocking the party. Whenever he speaks at rallies, people keep saying the same person that the National Bureau of Statistics has rated so badly is the one now talking about rescuing the country. So quote me and unquote me, that is what I said. But unfortunately, I'm not him and I'm not from Sokoto State. So my lips are sealed.
All right, thank you very much, Mohamed Jabu, for your well-thought ideas on the happenings in the PDP, both at the national and in your home state, Kano. We hope to have you some other time.
Thank you so much, Madam.
Viewers, that's a wrap on today's edition of the program, which we hope you enjoy. If you do, please join us again for another interesting edition of the program. For now, bye-bye. I'm Hamza Idris.